You're able to see my screen now?
Something's loading now. It's just
Okay.
taking time to load up.
It's loaded.
It's still, yeah.
Okay,
So it's
so
got
as I
paint.
mentioned, is as I mentioned here, like as a part of this demo training, so we are going to look into what exactly the performance testing is, right? And
Mm-hmm.
how to measure the speed of a server or a send of a server using a Jmeter. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so for that, like so the first what exactly the performance testing is and how to do the performance testing that we are going to look into, right? And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so let's take this is a client, right? Client in the sense, let's take this is your machine, okay? So
Yep.
client can be anyone.
Yep.
Let's take this is your machine, okay? Your own machine.
Yep.
And inside your machine, you have opened a browser
Yep.
like Mozilla Firefox or any other browser.
Yep.
And in that browser, you have entered some URL. Okay, for example, here you have entered so www.google.com,
Yep.
right? And once you you have mentioned here the domain, okay, www.google.com, and once you click on enter, right? So from
Yep.
your browser, one request will be sent, okay? And this request will be like basically sent to the server.
Server. Yep.
So this Google is this Google machine. This is a Google machine, okay, or Google server.
Yep. Yep.
So which is located somewhere else in California, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So here this server and this page, the google.com application is basically hosted here,
Yep. That's right. Yep.
right? So and now, so here if at the moment when you will enter here the enter key, so one request will be okay, so sent to
Yep.
this
Same.
particular machine.
Yep.
And
Yep.
basically this is the request you will be sending,
Yep.
okay?
One
And
question for you. Would that be a SOAP request?
this is not a yes, here it will be like either the web server request, it will be basically the SOAP request, so web services will call it as,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
web services. So but
Yep.
here you will be making a request to this server,
Yep. Yep.
and this request can be made okay using a web services as well, as you mentioned, SOAP, okay, RESTful, getting. So you are aware of this RESTful?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Yep.
the web services, okay, in the backend. So here basically like the request will be made to the Google server, okay, and for that you need to have the internet connection, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because this you are getting connected with this machine application. So this
Yep.
Google application is not internally running in your machine, right? So you made a
Yep.
request, and so let's take you have like you have entered here enter key, okay? So at 11:02 seconds, okay? This is the
Yeah.
time
Mm-hmm.
when you entered the enter key, right? This is actually
Yep.
the time, getting.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep. Yep.
now, so once you clicked on enter, so it will take some time to reach, okay, or to get connected with this Google server, right?
Yep. Yep.
So let's take it is like here to connect with this Google server, the time it has taken is uh, approximate 1 seconds. Getting?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Yeah.
so I'll assume this is at 02 you have made a request, and at 03 it has been connected with the Google server. Getting? So this
Yep.
is called
Yeah.
as connect time.
Yep. Okay.
Connect time, right? So connect
Mm-hmm.
time is basically the time at which your request has been connected with the server,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
Now server will process the request. So that means the server will identify what request you have made, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as per that it should respond. So for
Mm-hmm.
that, so it will be taking some more time, okay? So for example, it has taken another 1 second, so that is 11:04, right?
Yep.
So it has taken one more seconds, and after one more second it has started giving you the response.
Okay. Yeah.
So this time, like the time from the connect time till it has analyzed your request, and then it has started giving you the response, right? This is called as
Mm-hmm.
latency time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
depends. This like connect first the request has been connected with the server. Server has processed the request, and for processing it has taken some time, and after certain time it has started giving you the response, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even the response will take some time to reach your machine, right? And here this is, let's take it is again one more seconds, right? So that means here at 11:05 you have got this Google search page,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And this is the
Mm-hmm.
actual response time. This is the response time, and
Yeah.
this is the
Yeah.
total uh,
Total time from sending
yes,
it to
total
receiving it. Yeah.
time. Okay, so in which you have got the response. Now you can identify here. So what exactly the connect time is, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
connect time is the moment at which the request has been connected with this machine, right? And then,
Yeah.
so the server has taken certain time, and after certain time, it has started processing the request, okay, and then, so it has started sending the response even to reach the client machine, it has taken certain time, right? So
Mm-hmm.
overall, if you look into, you have sent a request at 02 seconds, and so you got the response, okay? So at 05. So it is like 3 seconds, like
Yeah.
totally. So
Yeah.
the response time is 3 seconds. So 3 seconds, do you think this time is okay for what you will consider this time as a good response time or bad response time?
I think there for this day and age is quite slow, isn't it? Hard to say.
Sorry?
I think it'd be quite slow for well, it is a bit slow for
Huh,
this
this
day
is
and age.
this is
3 seconds.
here like with one user. This is one user, right? So
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you'll use here the same concept like when you'll open a google.com, okay? So and you will make a request, it will get connected with the Google server and you'll get a response, right? So
Yeah.
3 seconds will be like considered as a good response time because so any user he will not able to identify even 3 seconds, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when suppose you are using any application and like you have made okay request like suppose the same application google.com, right? And easily like when you enter the key, okay, so enter key immediately after 3 seconds you got the page and you have not identified any difference, right? So this is
Yeah.
for one user. So because one user is being connected with the server, so the server has taken a 3 seconds to process the request, right? And
Yeah.
this will be like considered as a good response because 3 seconds you cannot identify, okay, so it's a very less duration, okay, so you will not identify any much difference, okay.
Hmm.
But let's take this is for the one user, 3 seconds. What if there are multiple users? Okay, so I'll just
Yeah.
reduce
Yeah.
this here, the size. Okay, this is for the one, it's visible for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So now this is even this is called as the performance testing. Getting?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but the actual performance testing is done. Even this is a kind of performance testing, right? To identify what is the
Yeah. How long it
response
takes.
time
Yeah.
of the application. So this is
Hmm.
basically the performance testing. But the performance testing will be carried out, okay, by applying a load, the actual performance
Yeah.
testing. Okay. So
Yeah.
that is here the load testing.
Yeah.
You will be measuring the performance of the application by putting a load. Okay,
Yeah.
and
That's
to
right.
put a load, so this is like if you use a browser like Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Internet Explorer, so you can
Hmm.
make only one request at a time. But to put a load, for example, 100 users load I want to put, right, on the server.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this we cannot achieve it using a browser.
Yeah.
So we need to have the tool, okay? So the tool is either we can use a load runner.
Yeah. I've used Load Runner before.
You use the load runner?
Yeah. Years ago, about 5, 6 years ago now. I did some
Okay,
performance
so this
testing.
is a HP tool and it is a paid tool. Okay,
Yeah.
so for
Yeah.
50 users, you can use this load runner. If you want to test the application with 50 users, then even you can
Yeah.
use the load runner. Okay, so it will provide free support for 50 users.
Mhm.
Jmeter is open source tool, right? And
Yeah.
there is a nowadays there is another tool, NeoLoad.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so NeoLoad is again a paid, it is not a free tool.
All right. Okay.
There is IBM, okay, Rational Performance Tester. Okay,
Yeah.
so even this is it is IBM tool, Rational Performance Tester. So even this is a paid tool. Getting, so these are tools you can use it. So the purpose of using the software is basically you want to put a load on the server. Okay,
Yeah.
and here using a browser, even though you are making a request and response, okay, but you are not you are capable to send only one request at a time. But that will not give the exact performance result, right? We need to
Yeah.
check this server like basically in the real time. For a web-based application or a client server application, there will be many users, right?
Yeah. That's right.
And
Yeah.
to ensure that like if more users are there or connected with the application, web-based application, so the web-based application, the server should respond to all the user with a less response time. Okay, so with a
Mhm.
stipulated response time. And for that, like let's modify this scenario. Now what we'll do is here, let's take there are many users now, right? So definitely, if many users, they will make a request to the
Yeah. Same server.
same
Yeah.
server, right? Server will take more time, right, to process all
Yeah.
the
That's
user.
right.
And for example, for some, suppose let's take now 100 users, they have made a request. Earlier, with one user, the response time is 3 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Now, with 100 user, when you are running the test, and this 100 users, you have created it from the JMeter.
Yeah.
And when you're running the test now with 100 users, you identified that some users they got the response after 15 seconds. Some users they got the response after 14 seconds. Okay, some users
Yeah.
at 11 seconds, some users at 10 seconds, and overall the average you identified is 13 seconds. Getting?
Yeah.
That means the
Yeah.
response time is gradually increased as the number of
Yeah.
users increases, right?
Yeah.
So in a performance
Mhm.
testing, basically we'll put a load on the server. Now 13 seconds we are getting, right? Now I will increase for
Yeah.
1000, okay, sorry, 105. And now I'll identify what is the response time. That is now 2 seconds. Now I'll go for 110, okay, users load.
Mhm.
And then so here let's take now this time I got the response time as average response time I'm talking. Okay, I'm not
Mhm.
looking for a single user. Average response time is 10 minutes. So do you think this is a good response time? No, right?
No.
See,
No.
if
Mhm.
suppose you are making a request to google.com and you are supposed to wait for 10 minutes to get the search page, even though if you're
No.
using a
Okay.
good internet speed, okay, you're using a good internet, right, you are getting the page
Yeah.
after 10 minutes, right? So this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a bad response time, okay,
Yeah.
because no
Yeah.
users will be happy to use the application which where the response time is okay bad here, like, or the response time is
Yeah.
more. And for that
Mhm.
reason the users will stop using it. If you're using any application and if suppose it is like the performance of the application is very bad, definitely you'll be not happy to use that application, you will stop using it, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And then in that case, like the business the Google's business will go in loss, right? So if the number of user decreases for any
Yeah.
application in general,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
and to overcome this, like here we'll be doing a performance testing. That is one, okay, benefit of doing the
Mhm.
performance testing is to identify for how many users what is the good response. Okay, so whether the response time is good or not. Okay, so this
Yeah.
is one
Mhm.
benefit. Okay, so for doing a performance testing, the benefit is identify, okay,
Mhm.
the response time. Okay,
Yeah.
based on number of users. So this is one benefit of doing the performance testing. Now we have identified like for 110 users, when you have 110 users, they have made a request to google.com, right? So they are getting a bad response time, that is 10 minutes. So 10 minutes is a bad response time, right? So now
Yep.
the Google, suppose Google wants uh, this 10 minutes which is a bad response time to improve this response time, right? The Google wants to improve this
Yep.
response time.
Yep.
So for that, so like Google, why he wants to improve this response time? Because here 110 users, okay, so load the server is not able to handle, right?
Yep.
Server maybe because there will be many reasons for it. Here the bad response time you're getting, right? So using the
Yep.
performance testing, you identified this, right?
Yep.
That is the bad response time. Now, to improve the efficiency or to improve the like here the response time, the Google
Yep.
he need to do the performance tuning.
Okay. Yeah.
This is performance testing you done. You identified for how many users what is the response, right?
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
to
Yeah.
improve this response time, so we need to do the performance tuning. So
Okay.
performance tuning is basically, so after you have identified in the performance testing, so you are getting a bad response time, you need to identify the reason
Yeah.
for like there will be many reasons because of which the performance of the application is not good. Okay,
Yep.
and
Yep.
one of the reason could be like the configuration of the server itself.
Yeah.
So this configuration of the server is not good, right? So
Yeah.
to improve the efficiency, to improve the average, okay, here the response time. So we need to configure the server, okay, hardware of the server.
Yeah.
So like I'll be using a RAM, okay, I'll be using more RAM, I'll be increasing the processor speed and all. Getting? So that
Yeah.
will be
Yeah.
like doing the changes to increase the performance is considered as a performance tuning. Okay. So one
Okay.
reason could be the configuration.
Yeah.
Another reason can be like the application complexity.
Mhm.
This term you're getting?
Yeah. I've not come across that one, but yeah.
Application complexity. See, if you're getting a bad response time, one reason can be a configuration issue, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Second reason can be the application here, the application which is hosted, right?
Yeah.
It has made very complex. Complex in
Mhm.
the sense the program inside this application itself taking a time
Yeah.
for the execution. Getting?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
And like the code is taking a time for the execution.
Mhm.
So definitely it will even affect the application response here. Getting?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll be discussing this in detail. So once we'll get into the actual content, right? So but one reason is here the application complexity.
Yeah.
Another reason can be like the queries, okay, SQL queries running with the database.
Okay. Yeah.
So SQL query in the sense basically here, see, this is a web server, right? Now
Mhm.
you have even there will be a database server. Suppose
Yeah.
the query which is the SQL query to connect with the database, right?
Yeah.
That query itself is taking a time
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
fetch the information from the database, okay, or to
Yeah.
validate the information from the database. Getting it right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So if the database queries are not optimized, right? So
Yeah.
even the performance of the application will be affected.
Yeah.
Getting? So these are like high level reasons, okay? So because of which any one of this reason, the application performance is being affected here. Okay, so you can see here the
Mhm.
server response time we are getting is 10 minutes. So in performance tuning, basically we'll be identifying what is the reason, okay, for the
Mhm.
bad response time, and then so we'll be doing a changes.
Yeah.
Okay, so doing changes either at the configuration level, if the reason is related to the configuration, okay,
Mhm.
modification of the application will be doing, right? So if the
Yeah.
reason is like the application complexity, so optimizing the queries we need to do if the reason is related to the SQL queries or any other queries, okay? So which is responsible for connecting and fetching the data with the database. Getting? So there is
Mm-hmm.
basically here doing the changes to improve the performance is a performance tuning. Getting?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you're getting a difference between the performance testing and the tuning, right?
Yeah.
So, and how exactly the performance testing is carried out, right? So basically you'll be making a request, okay, with mode load, okay? So you'll be
Yeah.
putting a
Yeah.
load on the server and then you'll be identifying what is the response time, okay?
Yeah.
So, and
One question.
yes,
When you talk about load,
hmm?
is the load just the number of users, or can the load be actual, running of, a business process within the application? So, for example, somebody logs in, records his,
Hmm.
fills out a form and, submits it.
Yes,
That's, a business process within the application. So
yes,
is that
it
the
is a
load,
business
or
process.
just the user load is
No,
a
no, no,
difference, isn't
business
it?
process load.
Yeah,
See, for example, scenario is if 10 users will log in into the application,
yeah,
okay, and then they will compose a mail.
yeah,
Getting it? So business
yeah.
process I'm talking about. You will be like creating a business process first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, I've done that sort of stuff before, but with Load Runner,
Hmm.
we ramp up to 1,000 users, and
Yes,
then they
exactly. The
run
same thing you'll be doing it
concurrently.
here.
All the users run, a load of a business process load, and then they monitor the load on the server, and
Yes,
see how it
exactly. You'll
works.
be doing the same thing. So what you done in the load runner, right? So first you
Yeah,
created a business process, right? And
yeah, yeah,
so that business process you will be like simulating with ramp up, okay, with the
yeah.
number
Ramp
of
up, ramp
users.
down. Yeah,
You'll be doing
yeah.
the same thing here, okay, in the JMeter.
Okay,
Okay, so
yeah,
and for that here I just take an example for the simple request, right? So
okay,
but to
yeah.
create a business process, we have a feature for recording here in the JMeter.
Oh, right, okay,
In the
right.
load runner
Yeah.
as well, you have the feature for the recording, right?
Mm-hmm.
In virtual user generator Vuegen, you used to record the
Yeah,
scenario, right?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then you used to run the test in a controller, right?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then in the analyzer, you used to view the results.
Logs, yeah, yeah.
But here in the JMeter, we'll be doing all the three steps together.
Oh, right, okay.
In load
Yeah.
runner, you have three different softwares, but in
Areas,
JMeter,
yeah, yeah.
you don't have three different softwares. Everything you will do it using a single software. Getting? You'll be
Okay,
creating a
yeah,
business process. Okay? You'll
yeah.
be like putting a load. Okay? And then you'll be
Mm,
even seeing the results.
okay, yeah.
Alright? So, any other questions, Mohammed?
What's the difference between JMeter and SOAP UI?
So, PY is a web server. Web
Okay,
services.
yeah, web services, yeah,
So web services are basically used, okay, for the communication between your like two applications. So let me explain you the here, okay, so with the new diagram, okay,
mm,
so PY, right?
yeah. Because that's another tool that I've seen quite, advertised on a lot of jobs these days.
Huh. So let me just
SOAP
explain you.
UI and
So PY, this is another tool, okay, and this is Jmeter. Now this PY is used for, okay, web services testing.
yeah, yeah,
So what is web services now, right? So the web services are used for the communication between two websites or two servers, you can say.
okay, yeah.
Let's take this is
So
a
it's, yeah,
uh, let's take this is I'll take example for so you know Air India site, right?
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
let's take this is Air India. Okay, and this is
yeah,
Air India server, and let's take this is another server that is Make My Trip, you know, right?
yeah,
Make My Trip. See now the normal user, if they want to book a flight ticket, right? They
yeah,
can
yeah,
approach directly to this server, right? They can send a
Yeah.
request to this Air India server and they
Mm.
can like book a ticket.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the client, right? Here.
Yeah.
You can book a ticket with the Air India.
Yeah.
Now, this client, he can book a even ticket for the Air India flight from the Make My Trip site as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Client will send a request to the Make My Trip, okay?
Yeah.
But from
Yeah.
Make My Trip, he's booking a Air India ticket.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how the Make My Trip, this server, it is getting information related to Air India
Yeah. Yeah.
server through
From other websites. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
from here. This is the web services.
Right. Okay.
But this what request you have made, it is a HTTP request.
Yeah.
It is not a like web services request you made.
Yeah.
You are connecting with this Make My Trip. See, you have two possibilities. Either you can go to the Air India, you can make a
Yeah.
HTTP request with Air India site and you can book a
Yeah.
ticket for the Air India.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
else you can make a HTTP request with the Make My Trip, okay, site. But
Yeah.
Make My Trip, they are getting Air India information.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they are getting because they are this Make My Trip server, they have get connected with the web services.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
the
Yeah.
internally there is a web services running between these two sites.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
here Air India informations are basically fetched from this computer and it is displayed here.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if you book a ticket from here, their site, actually it will be booked here, right? Later
Yeah.
on, you can
Yeah.
like use the same ticket ID here. You can verify it in Air India site.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah. Yeah.
nowadays this is very common, right? From one
Yeah.
application detail, you
Yeah.
can
You
get
can
it from
get.
some.
Yeah. You
Huh,
can get.
this.
Yeah. Flights from all sorts of airlines. Yeah.
Huh. So that is basically here the web services because of the web services. Getting? And
Yeah. Yeah.
web services are basically used for internal communication between two websites, okay, or two
Yeah.
servers. And this
Mm-hmm.
SOAP UI is
Okay.
a software. This is a
Mm-hmm.
software name basically. SOAP
Yeah.
UI. So this is a software or tool you can say, okay, so
Yeah.
is available to check this web services.
Yeah.
So if you want to check
Okay.
the web services, whether the information, okay, like related to the web services has been, okay, displayed correctly, how much time it is taking, right? So you can
Yeah.
use the SOAP UI.
So do you use it in conjunction with the actual live servers?
Yes, here.
Yeah.
So,
So
SOAP,
when they use this tool, you
huh,
actually use it, in conjunction with a live service. Like, for example, if I went to, if I wanted to check
hmm,
flights
hmm,
details or whatever from Air India, it would
huh.
actually connect to the live Air India site and get responses back.
Yes, exactly. You can use the live websites. You can check the
Oh,
response.
right. Okay. Okay.
You can use live
Mm,
web services,
right. Okay.
okay, and you can
Mm,
validate here.
yeah. Yeah.
Getting? So
Yeah.
here coming to the Jmeter, so we are like from the client end, we are making a
Yeah.
request to the HTTP request, okay, to this
Yeah.
website. We are
Yeah.
putting multiple
Websites.
load on this.
Yeah. Onto the site. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, if
So we just
multiple
focused on that
users
leg.
is
Yeah.
if multiple users they will book a ticket here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how much is the response time this is? Whether all the users they're getting a good response, getting?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
there is any okay user because of the more load. Suppose some of the user is not able to book a ticket.
Yeah.
Getting?
Yeah.
So that we are going to do it using a JMeter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So JMeter
Mm.
has a different protocols. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
if you want to check the web, this is a web server, right?
Yeah.
You'll be making a HTTP request. Suppose you
Yeah.
have a database here, right? And this is a
Hmm.
database MySQL, and
Yeah.
here you want to measure even how much time, okay, the queries are taking
Hmm.
to, okay, so if you're like suppose 100,000 users are uh, making a request with the database, okay,
Yeah.
so how much time it has taken to process the information.
Hmm.
Suppose you have
Yeah.
written a query here, select, okay, star from, okay, database table.
Hmm. Yeah.
Now if you want to check here how much time this query will take for 1000 users to
Yeah.
get connected with the database, okay, and to fetch the star value. Getting? That means the
Mm-hmm.
all
Yeah.
information. So
Yeah.
here, since you are getting connected with the database now, you'll be making a JDBC request.
Yeah.
Here you have made a HTTP request, right?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
Jmeter will be acting as a client.
Yeah.
From the Jmeter, you have made a HTTP request with the web services.
Mm-hmm.
So now
Mm-hmm.
business process you can create, right? And you can make a request with web services. You'll identify what is the response. Similarly, if you want to identify how much time, okay, so the particular query is taking, okay, to process if the load is more, right? So
Yeah.
you'll be making a
Yeah.
JDBC request.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
JMeter has different protocols.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So using a different protocols, it is making a like a request with the different, okay,
Yeah. Protocols. Yeah.
services.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Getting it right? So any
Yeah.
confusion here? The JMeter and the SOAP UI?
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
You are able to understand what is the purpose of using a JMeter and the SOAP UI?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So yeah, Jmeter is more focused around obviously the performance of an interaction between the client and the server, whereas
Hmm.
a SOAP UI is more around getting information from different servers, server to server
Yes,
sort of
yes,
communication.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now let's look
Yeah.
into here a small example related to the JMeter. Okay, so like for example, I want okay to identify whether the Google server is faster, okay, or Yahoo server is faster. Getting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Among these two servers, I want to check which is the good server,
Fast.
okay,
Yeah.
faster server. So let's do it using a JMeter. So I'm creating a simple JMeter script, okay. So we can do like many things with the JMeter. Getting? So we can do
Yep.
the distributed testing as well.
Okay.
You are aware of
Yeah.
the distributed testing?
No. 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 I've
Distributed
not come
testing is
across that.
basically here, like let me just show you about the distributed testing. Distributed testing is basically, let's take here you are performing your test is present here in this machine. This is
Yeah.
computer one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you have
Yeah.
written a program here, the test program for the performance
Yeah.
testing. But you want the load, okay, to be applied from different machines. Let's take you
Oh,
have
right.
one
Okay.
more machine. So this is in like Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is India.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, let's take, this is London.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is the Google server.
Right.
Now your actual test case is present here, but you want, okay, the load to be applied from Dubai and load to
Oh,
be
right.
applied from London.
Right.
Getting? So this you
Yeah.
can do it using a JMeter.
Oh, right. Okay.
From this machine you can apply a load to the Google server, not from your machine. Here in the earlier example, you are applying a load from your machine, right?
Yeah.
Directly.
Your own machine. Yeah. Yeah.
But if you want, you can do it here. You can apply the same load, not directly to here, right? You can apply
Yeah.
the load from this machine.
Yeah.
And,
So do you have to have those physical machines in Dubai and London?
yes, you'll be having the machine, physical machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And from this machine, you
So,
want to apply a load.
yeah. Yeah.
Getting?
Okay. Yeah.
So this is just
Yeah.
an example. You can like use the distributed testing. You can keep another machines, okay, from where you can apply the load.
Yeah. But you need to have those machines in those places,
You
don't
need
you?
to have
First.
the machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And first of all, you need to get connected with this machine. You are running a test, actual test case is present here, right? So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need to get connected with this machine first
Yeah. Yeah.
and from this machine, okay?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when you'll run the test here, the load will be applied from this machine,
Yeah. From
this machine,
those two
and the
machines.
results
Yeah.
will be generated here.
Okay.
Getting?
Yeah.
So this all will be looking at like in the actual okay content. So, but this is one of
Mm-hmm.
the best feature of the JMeter. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's look into
Mm-hmm.
here
Yeah.
how we can measure the strength of a server like Google server and the Yahoo server. And for that I'm creating a small program with the Jmeter. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
Jmeter is an open source software and you can
Yeah.
download this
Download.
Jmeter.
Yeah.
Okay, so from your end, so you need to just search for Apache Jmeter. Getting? So in a Google,
Yeah.
when you will
Yeah.
search for Jmeter download, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll be getting here a Apache JMeter. It is JMeter is a tool from the Apache. Okay, so you'll be
Yeah.
getting this link, and you can go to this link and in the download section here, we are into already download section. You'll be getting a binaries. Getting?
Yeah. Right.
And here, if you're using a Linux, okay, so you can use here the TGZ, okay, format. If you're on Windows, you can use this zip file. Getting? You
Okay.
can
Yeah.
download this file, zip file.
Yeah.
And this is for the JMeter to work on your machine, you need to have the Java. Getting?
Yeah. Yeah. Georgia. Yeah.
Without
Seven.
Java, it
Good.
will not work.
Yeah.
So you need to first install the Java, you need
Good
to
Java.
configure the Java, right? And then
Yeah.
you need to download this zip file and you need to unzip it. Okay? So
Yeah.
already I
Yeah.
have downloaded it here. So the JMeter, I'll just show you here. Okay, so this is JMeter. Okay, and I have here the Apache JMeter 3.0. Once you will unzip it, right, you'll be getting this folder, and inside the folder, you'll be getting a
Yeah.
bin location.
Yeah.
And
And then
to
you go to a
start the
batch file.
JMeter is
Yeah.
jmeter.bat.
The
Okay.
batch. Yeah. I've seen this on some tutorials on YouTube.
Haha. So this is installation is very simple in the JMeter. Okay. So you will be
So
like
you don't have to install anything. You just run that batch file and it launches it, does it? Innit?
sorry. Yes,
You don't
yes.
have to install it. You just
Huh.
run that batch file and it launches the application.
Huh. So
Yeah.
you have a like a different ways to run the test. Okay, this is one of the way. Okay, this is in
Yeah.
GUI mode.
Yeah.
That means you have the UI for this. You can run
Yeah.
the test from non-GUI mode from the command prompt as well.
Command prompt. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the Apache JMeter tool. Okay, and so let me just create a simple example. Like let's take for the Facebook, right, or for any
Yeah.
website. So suppose for the Facebook and for the Google, I want to check the performance, right, or the
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah.
So let's look into here. So in the Apache JMeter, we have a concept of the test plan.
Yeah.
Inside the test plan, you'll be creating your tests. Okay, you'll
Yeah.
be writing all the steps here. Even
Yeah.
the business process, you will be creating inside the test plan.
Inside there. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now I'm creating a simple test like see if I'm using here the browser, right, and if I'll make a
Yeah.
request to the google.com right here, so or
Yeah.
gmail.com. Gmail I will not use Google. Okay, so this is a request I'm making right here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
once I will hit on enter key, I'll be getting the response, which is here. See, getting?
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
response. So, but now we are like basically this JMeter, using a JMeter, we are making this JMeter as a client.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Here it is browser, earlier it was acting as a client, right? But with the browser
Yeah.
we can make only one request, which is not we cannot do the performance, we cannot apply the load, right? For that, we are making this JMeter as an actual client. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and in
Yeah.
the JMeter I'm going to put some users. Okay, so
Yeah.
in browser I cannot use multiple users. In JMeter I can use it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So here in
That's
the
why. Yeah.
test plan, the first step is like you need to use here the
Add
number of users.
threads. Yeah.
Okay, so thread users and thread group, and here you need to give a like the information
Yeah.
like for how many
Number of
users you want
users.
to put a load.
Yeah.
For example, 10
Mm-hmm.
users. I want to make a 10 request. Okay, 10 users request to the google.com or yeah,
Yeah.
any facebook.com. So this is thread number is the number of users. Okay, so
Yeah.
ramp up time is, so if I'll make this ramp up time as 0, that means all the 10 users will,
Yeah.
okay, so
Instant. Yeah.
hit the server instantly,
At
okay,
the same time.
simultaneously.
Yeah.
So if I'll make this
Yeah.
as 5 seconds, that means
Yeah.
ramp up period is 2 seconds. Getting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, one second is the ramp up time, sorry. Okay. Two users will be like active at a time. In first second,
Okay.
two users will be hitting the server.
Yeah.
After 1 second, two more users will be hitting the server. That means
Yeah.
slowly the crowd is
Yeah.
building on the server,
Ramping up. Yeah. Yeah.
ramping up. Okay. So this is here you can set the ramp up period. So loop count how many times, okay, you want to repeat, okay,
Yeah.
this users. So you can do this. Scheduler you can apply. Suppose you want to run the test at a specific
Yeah.
duration, right?
Specific time. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you can specify the duration in seconds here for a specific duration, right? Startup
Okay.
delay. So after how much delay you want to start the test, getting?
Yeah.
So that you can specify, even you can specify the start time and the end time. For example, you
Yeah.
want to run this users, 10 users load, you want to constantly apply on the server for 1 hour.
Oh, right. Okay.
1 hour in the sense like, see, if I'll not use this scheduler, right? And
Yeah.
if I'll run the test, all the 10 users will hit the Google
Yeah.
server and
Yeah.
they will stop.
Yeah.
But here, suppose I want all the 10 users to repeatedly send the request.
Yeah.
Getting my point? Not, I
Yeah.
don't want these users to stop after making one
Yeah.
request.
After. Yeah. Yeah.
I want all the 10 users to run
Carry on.
is
Yeah.
to put a load on the server for half an hour, for one
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
that's
this
when
I
you
can do
select the
it using the
scheduler.
scheduler.
Yeah.
Start time and then time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting?
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is how you can use it. So now let's take here with the simple 10 users running on server simultaneously, right? And number of iteration is 1. So this is the
Yeah.
thread group details we are given. Now we need to give the to which server, okay, we want to make a request, right? And
Yeah.
for that we can add here the sampler and we have the different types of protocols here, right?
All right. Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
suppose I'm making a request with the database, I need to use the
HTTP. Yeah.
JDBC.
JDBC, and then for
Huh.
a website with
Yes, yes.
HTTP.
Yes, for the web
And,
servers, you'll be using HTTP request, right? And
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
here you'll be like getting two tabs, basic and the advanced. And you can
Yeah.
here even mention it. You can change the name. For example, this is a request to the Google, okay? Google request. And
Yeah.
I'll be what request I'm going to make now? Simple request that is www dot and google.com.
Yeah.
Getting?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is now. So I
Your
given this
screen's
basic.
stop sharing.
Sorry.
Your screen's not being shared anymore now.
Okay, you are not able to see my screen. 1 second. Okay, you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, it's loading now, I think. Yeah. It's just loading.
Okay, it's loaded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now you can see here like I've added already the number of users here in my test.
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
users. I want them to hit the Google, okay, server simultaneously with a simple
Yeah.
request. I'm not creating a business process now, okay.
Yeah.
So
It's
that will be doing it. So in the actual training, okay. So here I'm just mentioning a simple request, okay.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
www.google.com. I want this
Yeah.
to this request to be made, okay, by
Yeah.
10 users. So
Yeah.
now you can see like we have added here the number of users. This we used to do it in the load runner in the controller, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the request part we used to do it here in the ViewGen, if
Yeah.
you remember,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
So this is acting as a ViewGen now,
Yeah.
wherein you have
Okay.
the steps, okay?
Yep. Yeah.
And then so analyzer part we need to add, right? So that is
Yeah.
here
The results.
to see the
Yeah.
results we have the listeners here, okay? We have different
Yeah.
types of listener
Yeah.
and here we have only limited listeners here, right? We can
Yeah.
extend this Jmeter.
Mm-hmm.
So we can add some more reports from the
Yeah.
Jmeter site, okay?
Okay.
So and that we can extend it basically, okay? So we can increase the number of listeners based on our requirement. Getting?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here currently we have some default listeners we can use. Okay, some of the listeners here like view results in table. Okay, so which
Yeah.
will give
Yeah.
all the user details in
In
table
a table.
format.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so similarly you can add more than one listeners. So
Yeah.
suppose you want to see what is the request sent and what is the response received, right? So you can use
Yeah.
view results in tree. And if you want to see the graph results, you can use here. Okay, so I've added three
Yeah.
different listeners here. View results in table, okay? View results in
Yeah.
tree. This listener will basically give the information related to what is the request made, what is the response received, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
here the graph results will give the information related to throughput, okay, average time, deviation, right, median, and
Yeah.
what is the latest sample. And we have created a simple test for the Google, right, with 10 users running and hitting the Google server simultaneously, right? And then
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can run the test. So let me run the test now. To run the test, we have here a run button. Okay,
Yeah.
start,
Yeah.
and you can open any of the listener which you want to monitor, okay, during the
Yeah.
execution,
Yeah.
and you can start here. So it will ask you
Yeah.
to save the test plan if you want, okay, you can just save it here. You can
Yeah.
select the location so that later on you can execute the same test, right? So here this is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Google request. You can give the test name and the format is okay JMX for the
GMX.
okay
Okay.
yes. And here you can save this and here it has started, you can see, right? And
Okay.
all
Yeah.
the 10 users are there, right? All the 10
Yeah.
users they have made a request to the Google server.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these are the like the user with the ID 9,
Yeah.
he has got the response very quickly, okay? And
Yeah.
in 6999 seconds. Sorry, this
Yeah.
is in
Yeah.
milliseconds here.
Yeah.
That means even the user they have not taken, okay, so like 1 second here, okay, so
Yeah.
within less than 1 second he has like got the
Got a
response.
response. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is the bytes, how many bytes is being downloaded. So bytes are
Mm-hmm.
basically when any page, if you'll open any page, right, this page will
Yeah.
be measured in terms of bytes. Correct?
Okay.
So this is the
Yeah.
bytes downloaded. Latency time
Yeah.
I had explained you earlier, if you remember.
Yeah.
Latency time is the time at which the server has started giving you the response.
Response. Yeah.
And then connect time, like how much time the user, okay, this request, the first user has taken to connect with the server here.
All right.
That is the connect time.
Connect. So,
So you can
yeah.
see like the user is been connected, okay, so
Yeah.
after 356 milliseconds
30
to the
seconds.
server.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after that, the server has taken some
Yeah.
more, okay, milliseconds. That means approximate 100
Yeah.
milliseconds to
Yeah.
start
Okay.
giving you the response.
Response. Yeah.
And the actual response is here,
Yeah. All
right?
together.
If you look
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
this connect, latency time is bigger than connect time, and then response time is bigger than latency time. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can see, and it is arranged as per the, okay, so in increasing order, okay, so the user, so which user with ID, okay, 1, okay, has
Yeah.
taken
Yeah. The longest
1.4
bit. Yeah.
seconds, okay,
Yeah. Seconds. Yeah.
yes. So that means like here, and the average, if you want to identify, you can use this, right? You are able to identify this, right? And if you look
Yeah.
into here, since we are given 0 simultaneously,
Yeah. They're
all the
all
users they
instant.
have made the
Yeah.
request at the
Same
same
time.
time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
So if you give the ramp up, it will vary here, right?
Yeah.
And then we have the graph results, wherein you can identify the average response time is 790.
Oh,
That means
yeah.
approximate, okay, so less than 1 seconds, okay, 790
Yeah. Yeah.
milliseconds it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the highest response time reached to
Yeah.
1451, okay, which you can see it from here
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah.
and then throughput here is 413.508 per minute. Getting
Mm-hmm.
here?
Okay.
That means
Yeah.
the Google server has a capacity, okay, to download 413.508, okay, so
Yeah.
bytes per minute
Bytes per minute.
with 10 users load.
All right. Okay, so that's
So
throughput.
the
Yeah,
if the throughput is more, right, it will
yeah,
represent the server strength is good. Okay, let's
yeah,
look into
yeah.
for the Google for the Yahoo now, right? I will just what
Mm-hmm.
I will do here for the Yahoo. Now let's look into for the
Yeah,
Google. We
just
are seeing
change
it
it.
is 413. Okay,
Yeah,
bytes
yeah,
per minute.
yeah,
For the Yahoo, like let me just change it here for the Yahoo now. So we can create another test plan and we can add it here, one more request.
yeah,
Okay, but I'm
yeah,
just showing it to here itself. Okay, we can add one more request here. Okay, and we can
yeah,
like change the results. So or else let me just keep it as this Google only. I'll add one more request. Okay. So what
yeah,
I'll do is I'll add all this listener to this request. Okay.
yeah.
So that I'll be getting a okay information related to the Google. And in this thread group, I'll add one more request, okay, for the Yahoo.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll write here the Yahoo request, okay. And here I will just add one more listener. I'll not add all the listeners here. I'll just add the graph results here, okay. Now
Mm-hmm.
you can see like 10 users we have, but we have two requests. Okay, so this 10 users will make okay request to the Google as well as the Yahoo. Okay, and you
Mm-hmm.
can refresh the earlier data from this. Okay, so button, and then you can run the test. Let's look into now. So the test has been started, and currently we have selected the graph results, which is from for the Yahoo. Getting?
Yeah, yeah.
Here. That means Yahoo speed you can see here 38. Okay. So still
Mm-hmm.
it is
Mm-hmm.
running. Okay. So still the 10 users. Okay. So it's not been completed here.
That's very slow, man.
Yeah, it's taking a time. Okay, now it has been stopped. Getting? So you can
Yeah.
see here Yahoo how much slow it is 117.951 minutes, and you can see here average response time is for 10 users
6. Yeah,
6. Whereas if you look into for the Google, right? This is for the Google.
yeah, yeah.
So this time it has taken some more
Oh.
okay time. So and here it is, but it is like good compared to the Yahoo, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you look
So
into
you know
the
when
Yahoo,
you run this time, did you run both of them? Yeah, you ran both tests
yes,
for
both the
Google
tests
and
I have
Yahoo.
executed
Okay. Yeah.
together.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so and
Yeah.
here like this is the Google result 21, okay, bytes per
Yeah.
minute, and Yahoo is 17 bytes per minute. Getting? And the
Yeah.
Yahoo server is average is 674. That means 6 seconds approximate,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the Google is 4 seconds approximate.
Yeah.
Getting?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can identify between these two that Google is faster compared to the Yahoo.
Mm.
Getting it
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So any confusion till here, Mohammed?
Yeah. Right so far.
Any questions
You know.
related to here we have a view results tree, right? And
Yeah.
view
Yeah.
results tree
Yeah.
basically you can identify okay what is the request made, okay, and what is the response. This is the request made and this is the response. It is in text format. You can change it
Oh
into
yeah.
the
Yeah.
HTML format. Okay, so this is the
Yeah. Yeah.
Yahoo. This is the
Yeah.
request made okay by this first user, and then so here the response is
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah.
okay, so
Okay.
any questions, Mohammed, here so far, like related to
Yeah.
this
No.
Jmeter? So basically, here in this training, we are going to look into all this
Yeah.
contents. So in actual training, so we are going to look into this following contents. Okay, so we are going to look into here everything in detail. Okay, so starting from the
Yeah.
performance testing fundamentals. Okay, installation. Okay, configuring Java, running Jmeter. Okay, recording the
Yeah.
test. Okay, so recording different scenarios that is here
Yeah. Yeah.
submitting from. Okay, managing the sessions, how to manage the resources. Okay, resources monitoring,
Yeah. Yeah.
distributed testing. Okay, so and we have different elements. Okay, in this JMeter. Okay, like we'll be looking at all those elements here. Okay, so
Mm,
and we'll be using the business process. We'll be creating a test and then we'll be running the test.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
okay.
so
Yeah,
any questions if you have for me? So that's all for the demo. Okay, so we have a very less time for the demo. So if you need to
yeah,
ask
no
anything
problem.
related to this JMeter, you can ask.